So yeah, what are the news? Good news from what I read.
Yeah, things are. I mean, I could be 8 or 9 out of 10. It's hard. I mean, I guess at some point, like, what is 10 out of 10? It's maybe unrealistic 10 out of 10. Yeah, I did a lot of what you said and got more involved in growing the business. And we went out on a date last maybe 10 days ago, and we came home, and obviously we're intimate, and then 2 times the last 3 days, and
Hmm.
yeah, things have changed dramatically. I'm gonna do like a one night away with her for Valentine's Day next Thursday night.
Hmm.
I'm definitely using those strategies of looking at the positives have got me so much more relaxed, and I think I was too dependent on her. It was interesting at dinner. Um, like she opened up like she wanted to build, a dream house. But we have 3 houses, but having 3 houses sounds fun, but 3 houses is a lot of work.
Hmm.
So I mean, I was on board with it. So she started talking, and that was the first time she ever opened up about that. Like, I'm like, I would love just to have one house. Honestly, 3 houses, you know, it sounds like, oh, like these people are nuts. They have 3 houses. We rent one out, but it's still a lot to manage multiple things going on. So, I said like, well, what kind of house would you want to build? And, she opened up. That was at dinner that night. And I think that was the first time she opened up about, more bigger things she'd like to do in the future. And I'm like, oh, I would love to do that. Like, when you feel you're ready, because of course, then you got to figure out where you want to live. I'm like, once you figure that out, let's talk and then, get an architect involved. So it was a very good talk. I was kind of doing like thinking like, hey, this is the last 20 years of my life, but the last 10 years, it's a very good concept. Some things are effortless now because I've been working on myself for a while. Like, but what really helped was thinking of the daily positives. Because what was still not effortless was my a little bit of neediness and clinginess.
Hmm.
And I think that comes in conjunction with the anxiety, um, which normally I have a little bit, but I just thinking of those things every day I log my daily positives. And I mean, there's not that many daily negatives when you start thinking about your daily positives. That's been a huge help. I could see it turn, not think things were horrible as we talked the first time, but just thinking that was already or 6 or 7 was good. And then today I'm thinking like, oh, what am I going to say on this call? I'm like, I'd say it's an 8 or 9, but honestly, then what am I expecting a 10 to be? But regardless, maybe I would say it's an 8 and 9 because you need to see multiple months of this to build a 10. But there's days right now it's a 10. So that has made like just, I mean, you wouldn't believe the massive change in 3 weeks. Or maybe
Yeah.
this is our third call in five
Hmm.
weeks. It's been massive. Yeah, it's amazing. Honestly, and I feel it's not just my relationship. I feel better because when you feel that stress of thinking something's going to fail, it affects other. I mean, it affects just how you feel and other aspects. Now, I was able to control that because I've been working on myself, but I never felt good, even though I probably wasn't externalizing it, meaning I was trying to make sure I didn't show that I was under constant stress. But when you look at every like now if I realize like we talk and she's tired and falls asleep, well, she's just tired and falls asleep, like she's not upset with me.
Hmm.
um that looking at the positives and realizing like sometimes she has a bad day, when I thought every time she had a bad day it was about me. Of course not.
Hmm.
You have bad days for lots of reasons, or some days your body just doesn't feel good. So I've been definitely trying to look at that like, okay, that's not a big deal. My stress levels have gone down 70-80% in the last 3 weeks, just looking at the positives. Because when
Yeah.
we're all done, maybe I talk to you once a quarter and obviously just pay you whatever your fee is per hour. Because I am getting a lot out of this, not just relationship wise, the whole
Hmm.
life wise. I mean, my
Yeah.
stress levels are down. Those simple, like when the first time I met, I'm like, this can't be this simple. And it was a struggle. The first week was a struggle to retrain your brain when you think something's so negative that, geez, it's not that negative. And sometimes I'd only have one positive of the day, but then, 12 days later, I have 10 positives of the day. And then, then you're just seeing, geez, most interactions, most days with most people, not just my wife, are positive.